Live it, breathe it, love it. All sports, double coverage.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man, Sauce. What's happening, bro?
Very little, my friend.
Very
Back
little.
again for another week. Yeah, just cruising along, getting through the another week. It's been in sport. There's not a lot on the cards here. There's a bit. Obviously, the Olympics. We're not covering that massively. We'll talk about it a little bit.
We'll talk about the gold medals, mate.
Yeah, we've got medals. I mean, of course, we've got to talk about it. You got. I've just got the rugby on in the background here. The Melbourne Storm's playing against the Rabbitohs. So I might as well give that a watch. As you know, Dom, it's all about just finding whatever you can, watching it live. I'm actually pumped because I believe it's this weekend, Dom, and I want to give this a little shout out at the top of the show. I think it is this weekend. Let me just stand to be corrected. I think it is this weekend, Friday.
I don't know where he's gone.
Saturday.
Maybe
it's not this weekend.
Hang
on.
I have no idea where you're going here.
Hang on. I've Googled it. it.
This could be the most ridiculous thing. Or actually, is this a serious thing? Or
no, this is serious, mate.
Oh.
This is serious. I was trying to find the schedule of play. I knew it was this weekend. Oh, here we go. There it is. There it is, Doma. It is here tomorrow night. And it's on at a great time. You know, usually the darts is on at a ridiculous hour.
Here we go.
Comma. The Australian Dart Masters up in Wollongong this weekend. Tomorrow night, Friday night kicks off, right, by big Rob Cross against the New Zealander Puha. And then the Aussie Damon Heta against Herring. Then you got Lukey Humphreys against Comedo. Lukey Littler, he's out there as well against Modra. And this is all on tomorrow night. And it will be live on, obviously, Fox Sports. You can tune in. And I'm just obviously giving it a shout out because the darts is on at a ridiculous hour, usually on a weekly basis. The European tour. It's that kicks off at like 3 a.m. in the morning. It's absolutely ridiculous. So it's not often unless you're up early. Sometimes like I do, I get up early, maybe 5:30, and I'll catch the last two games of the evening, and it finishes around 7:30 in the morning. But yes, Maddie, it will be on KO. It should be live on KO. It's Fox Sports will have it. So darts this weekend, tomorrow night. It's tuning in. Obviously, the footy starts to go a bit sour. It's not an exciting game or whatever. Tune in, watch the darts.
I think it's going to be exciting.
Give that a shout out.
I think the game tomorrow night's going to be pretty exciting, if you ask me. But anyway, put the darts on. Just split screen it. Hello, Kevin, all the way from Lakeland, Florida, over in the States. Welcome back to the show. We remember you from last week. We gave you an AFL team, and you go for the Hawthorn Hawks. Well, makes sense. James, what's happening? Matty Cams, what's happening? 1 month to the NFL, boys, says Matty. Yes, it's crept up very quickly. You know what else is back? EPL's back in a few weeks as well. It's just crept straight back up onto us, I tell you. We will start with the AFL, though. As the title suggests, 4 teams can win the Premiership. I'm going to give my 4, and you can give your 4 in a minute. But let's get to the results from this week. We had the Dogs defeating the D's by 51. No surprise. West Coast defeated Gold Coast in Perth. No surprise, because Gold Coast can't win away from home. The Kangas fought valiantly, mate.
The fact that we both tipped them is a joke. Even knowing that, or did I tip them and you tipped West Coast? Go back. I'm pretty sure we both tipped Gold Coast like lemons.
Yeah, we did.
Yep, told you. Terrible form by us. Yep.
North beat Richmond. Great win by the Kangaroos.
Yeah, I was at the game. It's good to see. I was there with the number one North Melbourne fan. He was famous throughout the week. I'm not sure if you haven't seen him. My mate, he's been all over Dan Does Footy. I'm not sure if you know Dan Does Footy on the socials, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel Gorringe. Yeah, gets the emotions. Troll. He's an ultimate social media troll.
I think everyone knows who he is, Sauce. Now, right? The great man.
Yeah, everyone knows who the great Mus is, and that is my friend Mus. He was on Daniel Gorringe's giving the 2-finger salute to the Carlton supporters as a North supporter, and he got into the rooms. Doma, he got into the rooms. I was there with. Good to see a smile on his face, and then get the win over Richmond. Which, Doma, you weren't having it all your own way in the first half, and you fought back well in the second half and ran over him in the end. Showed a bit of maturity to that performance because you weren't playing very good football in the first half. I'll say that. You lacked to get the ball inside 50, but you evened that up in the second half and you won the game.
Yeah, well, the number one North supporter, as Saucy mentioned, that we always mention on this show, is actually Musa. So we've known him for a very long time. You've known him a lot longer than what I've known him. I've met him only a few times, and he loves me because I'm a North supporter. And he doesn't always agree with my views on North Melbourne either, which is good. I love it but that just shows his passion. But I was actually super, super happy he was able to go into the rooms, and it was actually really nice. You know, honestly, the number one North Melbourne supporter that I know, bleeds them.
He's going to the best and fairest night. He's got his ticket.
Yes, I like it. That's good. Yeah, Horn Francis isn't there this time, so he'd be pretty happy.
Yeah.
Just make sure any North supporters that you're thinking about leaving the club, you better sign. And if you don't sign, you better watch out at the best and fairest. Because he's going to come up to you and ask you why you haven't signed on the dotted line. Geelong defeated the Crows by 5 points at GMHBA. The Pies beat the Blues, Sauce. What was I think we said this was going to happen. Yeah, we tipped them. We tipped the Pies. We tipped the Pies for the fact that we wanted to see Blue abroad. And geez, they were losing the plot. It was so funny. We both tipped Port.
I watched it. I had it going. I had the fan cams going on into the night. I was actually what was this? Was it Saturday night? I was out, played a bit of poker at a friend's house, bit of a house game. Got knocked out a bit early. Just decided, you know what, I'm not buying in again. Couldn't buy a trick. Every time I hit a decent hand, Dom, no one wanted to get suckered in on my razors. But got knocked out. Soon as I left, chucked the fan cams on the way home, and I fell asleep to the fan cams. It was just amazing stuff, Dom. Just hearing them. It's the wheels have just slowed it to unscrew, and they're just still on. They're just still on, Doma, but they're going, as you're going down the road, they're starting to flicker back and forth. You can see them. They're about to fall out from underneath and go bang, crashing out of the 8. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. You look at their draw, they still have, those teams ahead of them they should beat, but, you've been saying that about teams that they've been coming up against and they haven't. So, can they flick it on? Can they turn it on and still finish inside the 8? I mean, they were talking about round 5. Don't forget, I'm just saying these are the same fans on Blue Abroad. That round 14, 15, top 2, top 4 guaranteed. Well, mate, you're nearly outside the 8.
I'll tell you what.
Say Essendon fans are mad when we were second, mate. What about the Carlton fans?
So I'm telling you. We said it last week, but if they somehow don't make finals, wow. It's going to implode. It's going to go crazy. The next game up, we had Port Adelaide defeating Sydney by 112 points. Did we expect it? No. Did we expect Port to win? Yes. But Sydney have lost the plot. They have genuinely lost the plot.
Matty, what's going on with the Swans, mate? You know what, Dom? I'm just going to say it right now. Line through Sydney Swans.
There's only one team winning, mate, at the moment. There's literally only one team winning. It's pretty obvious who that team is when we get to our top four. I'm keen to hear who you think are the four teams that can win it, but there's only one team winning. Next up, Giants defeat the Hawks by 2 points. A heartbreaking loss for the Hawks. You know, they were up the whole game. They had this signed, sealed, and delivered, and they bottled this one, and GWS get the win. Source, you know, they win that game. They go in against Carlton this week on equal points and could have booted the Blues out of the 8 if they beat them. So it's a big loss. They still can make it. If they beat the Blues, they have to play North and Richmond after that in the last 2 games, which are obviously 2 winnable games for the Hawks. But let's just hope this one is not the one that they're going to be remembering for the rest of the season as to why they may not be playing finals footy. The next one was the Bombers. You know, they needed a must-win here, and they beat the Dockers by a point. You would have been pretty happy about this.
Surprisingly,
kept your finals hopes alive.
Surprisingly, I thought it was all said and done. You know, we played the first quarter. We looked decent. Then Fremantle dominated quarters 2 and 3. And, you know, I thought, you know, when they kicked that first goal, I think that they kicked the first goal of the fourth, Doma, and they were up by they may have kicked the first goal of the fourth. I'm not sure, but they were up by 25 points at 3/4 time. I thought they were going to see it out. You know, Essendon hadn't looked likely all day. Our forward 50 entries were pretty piss poor, you know, bombing it in, the usual stuff, getting dominated in the clearances. And, you know, I've watched that 10 minutes of play about 4 times, Doma. We played 10 minutes of football and won the game. Simple. 10 minutes we played for.
You did what you had to when it counted.
It was it was a good match. I wouldn't say that's, you know, that's how you want to be winning games all the time. But, you know, keeps the season alive. Regardless, I will say this, Doma. I think even if we somehow manage to pull this off to get it to a point where we, you know, we're looking likely that we can, you know, I'm not going to say that we're looking likely we can beat anyone, but, you know, if we can get there, because you can't say that after our recent form that we're even shoo-ins to beat Gold Coast this week, who haven't won an away game all season. Maybe this is the one away game they do win against the Dons.
We should get the job done this week.
Right? So I'm not 100% confidently saying that it will happen. But, geez, if we can get there in the end, that will be a feat. Is it a pass mark if we just get there for me? No, it's not. You got to win a final still to get a pass from me, myself, on the season. Anything less of that, it's a failure. And we're back to the drawing board.
Done. Last game, Lions defeat the Saints by 85. The bye, pretty much. This week's game
got beaten by Saints by 55. So exactly. Where's the level there?
No comment. This week's games, here we go, Sauce. Tomorrow night, 7:40 at the SCG. The Swans versus the Pies.
The Pies win to save their season.
I'm tipping the Pies as well. I thought the exact same thing. Giants versus Lions at the Gabba.
Yeah, Lions. The Lions are looking real good.
I'm going Lions too. North Melbourne versus West Coast.
Back-to-back wins for North.
In Hobart.
North. Back-to-back wins for North.
Up the Kangas. Dockers versus Cats, Perth.
Fremantle bounce back.
I'm going Freo too. Essendon versus Gold Coast, Marvel.
Essendon.
I'm going Essendon as well. Demons, Port Adelaide at the G.
Port.
Yeah, Port. Melbourne's finished. Carlton versus Hawthorn at the G.
Hawthorn.
Oh, I'm going Hawthorn as well. We're tipped in exactly the same. Richmond versus
the Blues.
Richmond.
Did the Blues turn it around? Did they turn it around against Hawthorn this week?
St Kilda.
Saints. That Marvel. We know Richmond don't like playing there.
Yeah, I'm going Saints as well. And the last game, the Crows versus the Dogs.
The Dogs.
Yeah, we're tipped exactly the same this week. How boring of us. You know what that means, Source? Because we tipped exactly the same. We got to go
Do
to
the predictor.
the predictor. Hello, Global.
Away, mates.
Let's see what we got installed this week on the predictor. Here's the ladder at the moment before I do change absolutely anything. We got the Swans. Whoop. Is that going to zoom in? Yep. Swans on top. Lions second. Port third. GWS fourth. Geelong fifth. Fremantle sixth. Dogs seventh. Carlton eighth. Then we got Essendon, Hawthorn, Collingwood, Melbourne, Gold Coast. No one cares about them, to be honest. Here's the points, though. Right here, because I'm counting Melbourne out of it. From Sydney to Collingwood. That's the points differential. Not much
Sydney
in it.
could potentially not finish on top.
As crazy as this sound, Source, who's in their next, Sydney's next 5? Sydney potentially might not make the 8.
Oh, they've no.
No, I'm being deadly.
If they lost all of their remaining games, which I don't think they'll do.
Well, they play Collingwood. Where they got Collingwood at home, then they play you.
Yes.
Bombers. Oh, they're making the 8, and then they play Adelaide at the SCG. They're making the 8.
Oh, they'll beat Essendon and Adelaide.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. All right, let's get to the ladder predictor. Let's zoom out here. We both went with the Pies. Their Pies moved up to 9th. We both went the Lions. They moved to the top of the ladder. Both went the Kangas. Nothing happens there, mate. Percentage is shit. Fremantle, they jumped to 3rd. Bombers.
7th.
Ooh. Port. They jumped to 3rd. Oh, they're staying 3rd, sorry. Hawks. Moved to 10th. Saints, no one cares. And the Dogs moved to 5th. Wow.
Interesting.
4 teams that can win it, Source. Here we go. Who have you got?
Who is it?
No, who have you got? You got anyone?
Yes.
Your 4 teams. From 1 to 4. From 4 to 1, actually. Go from 4 to 1.
What do you mean 4 to 1? Like 4th most likely?
Most likely to the most likely being number 1.
All right. I'm going to go with Port Adelaide. Number 4. Coming into good form at the right time. If they can get a top 4, they get the home finals. As good as anyone to make it there on the last day. Right?
It's on Port. Okay, nice.
Right. Number 3. I'm going to go with
I might give you my 4th as well. We'll go 4th, 3rd, 3rd. We'll do.
Go.
My 4th is GWS.
Right. Yeah. I'm going left field because I still think there's hope here for this team because we said they were going to make the grand final at the start of the season, and that's the Blues. I'm putting the Blues. I'm putting the Blues in 3rd. If they can work it out over this next 3 weeks and get a bit of form going in, they can still win the flag. Right?
They're not in my top 4.
Number
I'll
2.
I'll give you my 3rd. Your 3rd, my 3rd, your 2nd. I've actually given them hope because I want them to somehow make it here. I think they can actually win the flag because they pose a big threat to teams in the 8. The only thing that hurts them, they haven't got a key forward. That's probably what stops them. But they could be there in the last Saturday in September. I'm backing Hawthorn in. I'm backing teams that are in form.
That's a fair call.
I'm backing Hawthorn.
They are in
GWS started in form. They lost all their form, and now they're getting their form back when it counts.
Yep. I'm with you.
That's why I've gone with those 2, 4th and 3rd. So who's your 2nd?
No, well, number 2 has to be the Bulldogs, mate.
They are my number 2 as well. They are my number two.
And number one.
We know who. This is the team. They're winning it.
It's about, I mean, how many times are they just going to fall that short? They're piecing it together. They couldn't have timed this run of form any better.
Subject to the biggest choke job from this point out, there's only one team that's winning it.
The Lions.
The Lions.
I think it's Lions
here. Absolutely dominating. And put your money on it. I know a lot of people think that Bontempelli could be the sneaky one for the Brownlow. This year, he's actually played well, Lachie Neale. He's actually played well. He did fuck all last year, and Dunkley was the best Lion on that team, and somehow he won the Brownlow. I still don't understand. I still can't fathom it. But I did all the mathematics in my super coach brain, champion data brain, looked at everything. I don't know what the umpires saw, but maybe a nice paycheck in their Sportsbet account. That's all I could see, to be honest. But this year, he genuinely could win his third Brownlow. He's been very good.
Lachie Neale, Brownlow, Lions double, Premiership double.
James
throw
says,
it in the sports bet.
Says we're going to win it at the G finally. I think you do. I mean, mate. You were right there last year.
You finished top two, and you got good as chance to any to make the grand final. So
I reckon they win.
On the last day, you got good as chance.
I reckon they're walking out there on grand final day going, we don't want to feel this shit again that we did last year. Like, they're just over it. They have to just put it to bed. And genuinely, if they make it to the grand final, it could be an absolute bloodbath, potentially. It could be one of those grand finals. It's not going to be as good as last year's one, Pies versus Lions. That was a cracker. That's one of the best grand finals in probably the last decade. It was a cracker. You're not going to get that again. I don't think we are. Unless it's Lions versus Dogs, then maybe.
Are we due for one of those type of grand finals? Are we? Well, you see it. They pop up.
Depends who they play against. Depends who they play against, I guess. But
look,
I think
they're the teams that we think can win the flag. Let us know if we're wrong or right in the comments.
Then they can actually, if they actually win the flag, then deservingly so, they can go to Vegas and do whatever the hell they want at the end of the year. Who gives a shit?
How funny would it be after all of that stuff at the start of the season, they go on to win the flag?
And they win. Bro, we'll run them off. They were like 0-5, and we're like, that's it, it's over. These guys are cool.
You know that they are literally going against history.
I know.
No team's ever started like that and won the flag.
I think they're 9-9 now. After the bye, the Lions. 9-0, sorry, not 9-9. 9-0 since the bye. They haven't lost the game. Hawthorn is 7-3. Dogs are 7-2. Just saying. But Freo's gone to 6-3 now because you gave him a loss last week, so they're cooked. They can't win. I just don't trust Fremantle. That's why I didn't even put him in the top 4 at all. I just don't trust them at all. They can't win at the G. Mate, they can't win. They can hardly win at Marvel.
You can't. You really even. You can't even put Dockers above, like, say, Swans, Lions, Power, and Giants, who are also interstate teams. Look at that. The interstate teams absolutely dominating that top 4.
Yeah. It was all the top 4 Victorian sides at one stage a few weeks ago. Matty says, I'm biased, but a few wins over Dons and Crows get Swan back on track right at finals time. They'll still be top 2 home finals. Win over Pies this week. Cements top 2. Brisbane's start is like Swans now. Yeah, good form at the right time. I reckon they're the best team. The Lions, far out, they're good. But, if the Swans can actually get it on track, they're pretty good themselves.
I think it's more of just Swans. It's just a matter of can they
put them in my top 4 teams.
Back on track. Look, they're still there. We're probably just,
a bit harsh on them.
a bit clickbaity, not gonna lie, with the 4 that we picked, but me even throwing the Blues in there over the Swans, who were still on top of the ladder, that's a bit cheeky.
What's the plot there?
Give the blue abroad people a bit of hope.
Man, no bullshit. You're still thinking back onto the eavesdropping you're doing in the cafe, mate. You're still believing that their belief is
I'm still believing. Oh man, look, we'll see, Matty. I just teams that usually fall away at this time of the year, they always find it hard to sort of come back, and it's been a little bit of a slide, but the injuries have probably, I don't know if the injuries have been that much of a miss. A miss to lose in that manner to Port Adelaide. Like, I understand you're playing over there, in Adelaide, but that was an ugly loss. I mean, look, I should know about it. The Dons got absolutely slapped there earlier in the season as well. So, yeah, look, the Swans can still win it, Dom. The Swans can still win it.
Yeah, of course they can. Global says Port have the list to get it done. Well, I don't know. We'll see. All right, so let's move on from the AFL.
Look, at the end of the day, what do we always say about Port Adelaide? Just show us when it counts, yeah?
Exactly. Until then, that's all I have to say. Nothing. They're poo. All right, let's get to the one true GOAT of world football. And it's not Ronaldo, ladies and gentlemen. It's Fabrizio Romano.
Fabrizio?
There's been a few big transfers, obviously, that we can talk about at the moment. We've got Julian Alvarez from Man City. He's gone. He's missed that. He's gone to Atletico Madrid.
Yes, there's also words that Antoine Griezmann could be on his way out of there.
Yeah, there's words that Antoine Griezmann could be at LAFC next year. He might go to the MLS.
Yeah,
to join LA Galaxy or something. To join, I think, Marco Royce, who has just gone to LA Galaxy as well. So he signed there. Tottenham's trying to sign Dominic Solanke. Who's the other big one? Where is it? Conor Gallagher has gone to Atletico Madrid as well. That deal is done. That. But the biggest one, obviously, Barcelona, they sign Dani Olmo from Leipzig. That's a great get. Very underrated player, Dani Olmo. Very underrated. So that's all the news so far. No one's gone to the Saudi League in this offseason. I think it could be cooked, the Saudi League. I think it's done. They're all gone to the MLS. Actually, who we got here?
Well, look, let's be honest, Dom. When you think about it, if the money can be there for the MLS, what would players? I mean, the thing is, the money that they get in Saudi Arabia is completely different to the money that they get in MLS. But if players who have made still good money over their career see obviously the different in lifestyle that you've got, obviously playing in the US compared to being in Saudi Arabia, and then there's you're going to lose obviously some sort of money because you're just not going to get paid that same type of money to come to America. But if it's still a decent sum of money, they'll probably choose the lifestyle, especially if they've had a good career and they've got a lot of money behind them. They don't really, I understand. It is nice to have a couple of extra million, which is what it would be probably, if you could choose Saudi Arabia over the US, but also the lifestyle that they've got to take on board. And if they've got a family and all that sort of stuff, I mean, it's understandable. So
unless you're Ronaldo, man, they changed their bloody religion for Ronaldo.
No. But look, it is understandable, and I think I've seen players' wives who have used to living in England, this and that, and then they've moved over there, obviously for the ridiculous wealth that their husband's been offered, or to play in Saudi Arabia, and they just say it's a big lifestyle change.
100%. You got to adapt to their culture.
Yeah,
the culture,
you have to.
The one thing about Saudi Arabia, the culture does not adapt around you.
Exactly. Right.
So either you buy in or get out.
Yeah, there's that to take on board. So, maybe players are making the MLS choice, especially after obviously Messi made that choice, and seeing that sort of And look, we're saying that like big names haven't gone there in the past. I mean, Zlatan's been there, and other names.
Nani played there.
Insigne plays there, and Bernadeschi, and
Chicharito played there.
Chicharito many years played there. Beckham,
Messi.
There's been heaps of players that have gone to them.
Messi, Suarez, Busquets, Alba.
Yeah, they're just the current ones, mate. Then there's, before, we're talking about before as well. There was still some decent names that used to go.
Nani played there, didn't he? Nani was there.
Yeah, Nani for a little bit. Played for Orlando City.
Yeah, that's right. Henry was there.
Played for Thierry Henry, exactly. Red Bull. Yep. I think even Patrick Vieira later in his career might have even played there. Okay. I know he coached. I don't know if he played. I think he might have played as well for LA or something of that nature.
Obviously, Landon Donovan was there at LA Galaxy, the homegrown hero for a long time as well.
Yeah. So it's always been that. Gerard, that's exactly right. Gerard went to LA Galaxy. That's right. He did. Correct, Jimmy. Yeah. So I mean, they've been pulling in names to their league for a while. I mean, there was times and hopes where the A-League was pulling in great names. I mean, don't forget we had Del Piero down here, Tomo. We had, some decent names. Who else did we have? Cole. I think we had Cole.
Robbie Fowler played here.
Robbie Fowler. A couple of big names. We had a couple of big names.
Did Heskey play here?
It all went pear-shaped, mate. It all went pear-shaped.
Heskey? Didn't Heskey play in the A-League?
I think he might have played in the A-League. I think he did for Newcastle.
But it's just a big sea change, obviously, to go over to Saudi Arabia. Usain Bolt,
Yes, remember when he had the trial Central Coast? That was an absolute farce.
But it's a big lifestyle change. Hence why. Hence.
They're going to the MLS.
Hence why. I keep saying. Yeah, trying to build up this 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th division Saudi League. I'm telling you, I've got my hands up. It's ready. Whenever you need me, the Sheikh of Saudi Arabia, whoever's in charge there, I'm happy. I'll go play for a measly $4K a week. $4K a week, mate. That's it. $4K a week. I'm happy with that. It's good for me. That's it. And then when we progress up the leagues, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 a week, that's it. We're happy. But they're trying to build their 3rd division and their 4th division. So obviously they've got enough money to do that to us. So as we said, for that league to become huge and sustainable, they need to do the opposite of what China did, as we've discussed on the show many a time. They need to try and build academies in there to develop young players to then move into their footballing system. So then when they move into 2nd division, 3rd division, and when those 2nd division teams get promoted, obviously because there's so much money, at least these young kids, they've got a good brand of football. Like they're Saudi Arabians, you know what I mean? And then their national team actually becomes better because they're developing these kids by getting international coaches in.
Yes.
To help develop it. But if they're not going to do that and they're just going to throw money to try and get people to come play in the 1st division, and there's no, obviously no stability in the pyramid of 2nd,
trying
3rd,
to build
4th
up younger
tier,
talent. Obviously,
it's just going to be China.
Isn't the whole goal for them to try build up younger talent so they can try do better at the 2032 World Cup? Is that when it is?
Yeah, well, the whole thing is they want to try and get the World Cup, but then they get it.
I think they have.
Ronaldo's this. Yeah, that's why Ronaldo's the ambassador.
Yeah,
but that's the reason why. It's just Anyway, we'll see what happens with it. They got the money.
He's paid in that ambassador role. That's on top of his wage to play for on the side.
He's got so much money. So much.
He's wearing like a $200,000 watch, just like.
Yeah, Jacob & Co. He wears Jacob & Co. watches. They're not cheap. I think the cheapest watch at Jacob & Co. is actually the Ronaldo watch. Funnily enough, there's a Ronaldo watch at Jacob & Co. and there's 3 tiers to it. And the cheapest one is $17,500 for the cheapest tier, which iShow Speed owns the cheapest one. And then I think it goes 17,000, 48,000 and 48,500, and then it's 120 grand for the top of the range Ronaldo watch. Yeah, but they sell watches that are there like $500,000, $1 million. It's absolutely absurd prices. Anyway, don't think I'll ever be owning one of those.
I don't think
Unless
so,
the
mate.
sheik wants to donate one to me, just as a charity. It's like him buying a Casio for $19. Like me buying a Casio for $19 is him buying a $500,000 watch. So really, it's much of a muchness. Let's be honest. All right, let's move on from the EPL. Let's get into some Olympics. We're just going to run through some of the medalists. I'll just read off some names. Zach
Give a couple of shout outs.
Men's 200 meters breaststroke silver. Kyle Chalmers 100 meter freestyle silver. Jemima Montag in the 20K walk bronze. Team Australia, the women's 4x200 meter freestyle relay gold for the ladies in the pool. Annabelle McIntyre and Jessica Morrison bronze in the rowing. Kaylee McKeon gold in the 200 meter backstroke. Cam McAvoy gold in the 50 meter freestyle. Saya Sakaki Bara gold in the BMX. Gray Morris silver in the sailing. Matthew Ebden and John Pierce men's doubles tennis gold.
Huge.
We love that. Kaylee McKeon bronze. Ariane Titmus silver in the 800 meter freestyle. Team Australia bronze in the 4x100 medley relay. Meg Harris silver 50 meter freestyle. What else we got? Nicola Oleslagers silver in the women's high jump. Eleanor Patterson bronze in the women's high jump. That was the two that obviously won medals in the same event. First time that's ever happened in Australian Olympic history. Naomi Fox, which is Jess Fox's sister, won the women's kayak cross canoe slalom. She won a gold there. Jack Robinson, silver in the surfing. Arissa True, I don't know if you saw this story, Source. Yeah. Arissa True, skateboarding gold. Youngest gold / medalist in the history of Australian Olympic team. I was up to just watch her her first heat, and she comes out in her first heat with a freaking ollie over the middle island into a 540 spin, and I was like, "Is she for real?" She stuffed up in her first heat run. Obviously, you get 3 heat runs for those that are listening. She stuffed up in her first heat run. She still scored a 73.80. And she stuffed up. Anyway, she hit a 90 and then a 93 in the finals in her second and third run, which is just absolutely absurd. So good on her. I don't know if you saw Tony Hawk gave her a shout out, Source.
14 years old.
Yeah, she's 14 and 86 days old. So Tony Hawk gave her the shout out. And another fun fact about Arissa True, she's the first female ever to hit a 720 spin in skateboarding history. So I'm pretty sure she did that in an X Games in front of Tony Hawk.
Yep.
Pretty epic. So anyway, she's going to get the most.
She's building a resume. She's
getting the most of the talk here because, she's the 14-year-old dominating. So well done to her. Team Australia.
What were you doing at 14, Dom?
I don't know, eating burgers and Mars bars. I don't know. I wasn't talented like her.
But we were playing bloody FIFA manager mode, mate.
Exactly. We're looking at what we would love to aspire to be, but we never could get there. Nowhere near what she was doing. Probably, actually, you know what I was doing at 14? Collecting cards because they're worth $1 million. And now they're in 1 cent bins. Team Australia men's team sprint won a bronze. Ridian Cowley and Jemima Montag bronze in the mixed marathon race. Walk. Keegan Palmer gold in the skateboarding for Australia. Very nice. Matt Wern, the men's dinghy sailing, gold. Team Australia men's pursuit, gold. Nina Kennedy, women's pole vault, gold. Matthew Denny, discus throw, bronze. And Moshe Johnson, the women's 10K marathon swimming, a silver. So, mate, they just dominated. Obviously, the Americans have been bagging us. I don't know if you heard about this, Source. Which we kind of put ourselves in this position. But the Americans are bagging us because we said that all that counts is gold medals, not your total medal count. Because, like golds puts you on top of the leaderboard. You could actually win like 20 gold and have 0 other medals and you're on top of the medal count. Where the Americans are like, mate, we've got like almost 100 medals, 60 more medals than you. It's kind of like, we did it to ourselves, because like the propaganda, we wanted to be ahead of America. So anyway, just be happy we've won 41 medals. I think it's the most successful Olympics we've ever had as well, because of gold medals. So not for anything. It's been a great achievement. There's been a few lead balloons, obviously. A few downsides. Obviously, the Boomers being one of them. Disappointing. The Kookaburras in the hockey.
Disappointing.
Disappointing.
Yep.
So it's been a couple of letdowns. But my highlight so far of the Olympic source was last night. Last night was my highlight. It was not an Australian team. All right. I want you to guess what sport I was watching. It was none of the sports I've just read. Just have a guess. Very physical sport. Team sport, very physical.
Handball?
Yep. That's what I was watching.
It's a good sport.
Quarterfinal. You know who was playing? Germany.
France
versus France.
Yeah, it was a good match. I was watching a bit of it.
Man, you saw the stadium then. It was absolutely rocking in there.
It was.
I don't know if you saw what happened, but France ended up losing this game in overtime.
Oh, no.
They were up by 1 point, Source, with 6 seconds left in regulation, and they turned the ball over in the 6 seconds, and Germany scored to take it to overtime. The guy went to pass it, and they stole it off of him.
Oh, no.
All he had to do was throw the ball back to the goalkeeper and reset, and they would have won the game. But he tried to pass it forward. They stole it. The Germans go down, because obviously it's extremely fast, as you know. They score, goes to overtime, and they outscore them in overtime, and they knock out the hosts. So, mate, it was just one of those crazy sporting moments where, obviously, if you're the German team, the whole stadium is against you.
Yes.
No one's there.
The crowd was going bananas.
All against you. Nothing's going your way. Nothing. You got like your captain sin binned. Nothing's going your way. And they made something out of nothing. And they end up advancing. So crazy. Crazy game. Crazy game. So that was actually my highlight because it's just epicness, to be honest. So that's pretty much it. That's the Olympics in a nutshell. Unless you've got any comments, we'll move on to UFC.
No, not really. I mean, what sport have you watched that you never ever watch unless it's the Olympics? Handball,
diving.
Well, I was watching the javelin throw yesterday. I don't know how interesting that was. Yeah, there was no commentary on it, so you're just watching them throw and get it. There's no commentary at all. The rock climbing. Did you have a look at that?
Caught some of that. Yeah, that's mind-boggling.
Bizarre, but I'll tell you what, the strength that they have to climb that wall, the speed, just ridiculous.
I saw the Yank break the world record.
Just nuts.
I can't believe he got from the bottom to the top in 4.05 seconds. I was like, how the hell is that actually possible? He did it.
Just nuts.
Water polo, watched a bit of that. I haven't watched any equestrian this time around, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can't say.
Golf, I do watch the golf anyway, but Scotty Scheffler, shout out to him, won the gold. Oh, we got to mention the biggest gold that's happened at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Our boy. No, the GOAT. He won the gold medal in the tennis. Our boy, Djokovic.
The Joker. Yeah, I know. That was a big win for him. He's obviously beat Alcaraz on the he's done it all.
Clay. That's it, Source. He's won everything. That's it.
He's won everything.
He's actually clocked the sport.
Yeah, he has. He's won it all. That was his first gold medal.
I know that Nadal's done it as well, but he's clocked the sport because he's got the most Grand Slams.
And he still might add to that. Still might add to that.
It's fun. It's funny how first tournament back, from his knee surgery, Alcaraz beats him in the final at Wimbledon. Everyone says he's finished. His second tournament back is the Olympics, and he wins the gold medal, and he beats Alcaraz in straight sets in the final.
On clay.
So much for being finished. And I'm gonna use some of the words, the descriptive words that they use when Alcaraz beat Djokovic. All right. He absolutely destroyed Alcaraz. All right. They were both healthy, and Djokovic destroyed him. And that's not an exaggeration. Go watch the match. He decimated him. I thought Djokovic was actually playing for Spain at one stage. That's how good he was on the clay.
Looked like a Rafa out there.
I'm just happy. Novak's, well done, son. We love you. We love him on this show. All right, so it's over to you for some UFC.
UFC fight night over the weekend. Obviously, Corey Sandhagen against Umar Nurmagomedov. If you missed it, I'll give you the update. On Sunday, it kicked off at 5 a.m. in the morning. Did the main card and the prelim card was from 3 a.m. So, look, not going to lie, Dom, I didn't get up and watch it. So I can only give you the results. I can't really talk too much on the fights. I haven't gone back and watched much, watched any, if I should say. Just seen a couple of highlights and things. But Umar Nurmagomedov gets the 5th round decision over Corey Sandhagen in the main event. I have no idea what's happening with my computer. It keeps flicking on off. Shara Magomedov gets the decision win over Mikhail Ochizuku. This one goes the distance, which not many people would have predicted, but good to see that getting the 3-round bout in. It was actually fight of the night, so it might be worth going and watching the replay on that. It sounds like it was an absolute cracker. If they've given it fight of the night, Magomedov gets the win. Divison Figueroa gets the win over Marlon Vera with a decision over the distance. Tony Ferguson gets submitted by Michael Chiesa in the first round. Mackenzie Dern defeats Lupi Gondiez with a 3rd round decision. And Joel Alvarez defeats Alves Brenner with a KO in the 3rd round. I won't go through the prelims. You can check those out. But nonetheless, it was a banger card. It's just unfortunate it was on at an average time. And I mean, I'm not sure if it's one of those things that anyone know. If you go back, if you've got KO or something, is it one of those things like they have an instant replay of that?
They would.
If
it's a fight night, then you would.
Because it's a fight night.
You'd be able to.
So you probably be able to go back and watch that one. That's the good thing about the fight night. Obviously, any main events, you can't really go and do that. Look, not that I'm saying there's no other way to do it. There is a way to do it on the realms of the internet. But yeah, it's always nice to be able to just watch it with the convenience of KO and stuff rather than having to find some dodgy Russian site to watch the replays or something like that, right? Which are out there, whether they're Russian or not. That's just me talking absolute gibberish and nonsense. Could be from anywhere in the world, but nonetheless, it can be done. Doma, this weekend there is a card on, I believe. I'm just trying to go back to find out when it is. Yes, upcoming Marcin Tybura against Sergey Spivak, heavyweight bout, UFC Fight Pass fight night this weekend. So it kicks off from 9 a.m. the main card, so a bit of a better time. Prelims kick off from 7 a.m. So make sure you check it out this weekend. UFC Fight Night, Tybura versus Spivak.
Awesome.
Which I can guarantee someone's going to sleep because it's heavyweight fight.
Yeah.
So tune in.
Well, there's actually some other big news that was announced. I don't know if it was announced this morning or today or yesterday, but Francis Ngannou back in the octagon.
Finally.
On October 19th in the PFL against Ferreira. All right. Yeah. So Ferreira is meant to be the second best fighter in the whole PFL organization, behind obviously Ngannou being number 1. And if you haven't listened to the Joe Rogan Experience, he actually interviewed Ngannou on his last MMA episode. before Khalil Roundtree, which is also another good episode because, as you know, Khalil Roundtree is actually banned at the moment. I don't know if you know about this.
Yes,
He actually explains that story. The Ngannou one's interesting because he explains his story and what he wants to do and how he wants to leave his legacy. And actually, Ngannou, it's actually really, really sad, but he actually speaks about the passing of his little boy.
I did
in depth, man. Like it's crazy. And like Joe Rogan, the way that Ngannou's able to talk about, like Joe Rogan's like on the verge of tears, mate. It's unbelievable. And honestly, even listening to it, it's very, very sad. But he talks about PFL, talks about wanting to fight John Jones if it can ever happen. He's keen for it. He's down for it. So go listen to that. Listen to the Khalil Roundtree one as well. And if you want to get a bit more old school, there's one episode on there with Quinton Rampage Jackson. So you can go back and listen to that one as well. That was a cracker. He's a pisser. He's so funny.
I'll have to listen to that. Rampage Jackson is absolutely
it's a
hilarious.
cracker. It's a cracker. Go listen to that one. It's very, very good.
I've seen him speak on a few clips and stuff. He's so funny.
He's so funny.
He actually doesn't hold back. Like he
says
the way he says it. Things.
He's so good. All right, so a bit of hobby talk. There isn't much going on. There is one funny thing that's happened back in the hobby, but we've got a few products to have a look at. The first one is Topps Chrome Tennis. All right, we'll get to the other Topps Chrome in a second.
Here we go.
He's Ben Shelton. He's the rookie, the American, with the call me on the cell phone, hang up, that celebration. He does that. That's his thing. That Djokovic did to him when he beat him. He used his celebration against him. So, as you know, there's about 4 gazillion refractors in here, as you can see. Like, I'm not going to even go through them. Just want to preview here, and we'll have a look at some autos if there's a checklist. There's autos. Here's Elena Rybakina. Here's Carlos Alcaraz.
All sticker autos, I'm guessing.
Stefanos Tsitsipas. Iga Swiatek. Here's Arina Sabalenka. Game set. Matt. It's meant to be match. I'm not happy about that design. It looks terrible. She's covering the CH. It's pretty shit. Cards per pack, hobby 8. Packs per box, hobby 12. Boxes per case, 12. Set size 200. Release date is the 21st of August. What to expect? There's no thing yet, but 3 autos, 6 aces, 4 captured, 1 center court, 1 Grand Slam champions, 4 served, 1 clay court refractors, 2 negative refractors, 3 prism refractors, and 6 refractors. So I'll see what have you got to say. 3 autos
per box.
Yeah, what do you got? You're a bit annoyed about something.
I just find it really, really disappointing that in a product like tennis that they're flooding it with so many sticker autos when, come on, man, like, think about it. These guys are at so many tournaments in the US throughout the year, man. Like, there's like that many ATP tournaments in the US. Then you have the US Open. Like, why is it difficult to not have Panini representatives going out there to these tournaments that these players are playing at and getting them to sign on card?
Fanatics.
Stickers, right? Oh, sorry, Fanatics. I just don't understand. Like, and Fanatics is supposed to have this grand old budget, this outreach, this access to, all the stars of the game, in this case, tennis, and, in other cases, football or whatever other sport. Why the hell can they not get on-card autos for this? I just don't understand. I just don't understand. And us as people in the hobby, like, you understand that we are part of the problem. Should we keep buying this shit and accepting the mediocrity that is, sticker autos on this stuff, right? I mean, just look no further than like the football hobby, right? In soccer cards, on card was not really, people didn't expect many on card products, even before in soccer cards, early on years, sort of the 2014, 15 stuff. Yeah, you got the flawless and that, but outside of that, it was all sticker and they accepted it. And then all of a sudden it was just like, there's, 3 products that are non-sticker. Everything else is sticker. And I think that's what you get in every product now. It's like, if it's not like a flawless or,
National
in their
treasures.
case, yeah, if it's not like something like that, I'm just trying to think in terms
Even
of
that's all stickers now.
Fanatics. I'm trying to think in terms of Fanatics and what they produce, what would be something that, is totally on card. But
Exquisite, when they release that again, because they own Tops.
yeah, well, that's Upper Deck, right? So,
Oh, sorry, that's Upper Deck. Sorry.
That's Upper Deck. So I'm just,
Inception.
there's like
is
Tops,
Inception,
Inception
which
and
we're about to
Dynasty
preview.
and
Dynasty.
Dynasty and stuff like that,
Dynasty's
right?
probably the one.
Is that what we've come down to? Have we just come down to that, we're only going to get a handful of products that are going to be on card every year? And should it be in a sport like tennis where they don't produce many sets? They might produce a couple of sets a year. Is it one on card set and the rest sticker dumps?
If that's the case, all right. If this is the case, as you're saying, all right. If this is the case, then you're gonna have 2 products in a year. Hello, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
2 products in a year. All right. They're going to be all on card. They're autos. All right. If that is the case, saucy, and the rest are all going to be stickers, and it's just going to be mass produced. We'll say Djokovic autos, Nadal autos. They're going to just keep making all these products, and then we're going to get Dynasty. That's going to be all the on card. All the box prices should all come down to fucking literally $500 a box. There should not be one product over $1,000. And then when Dynasty comes out, that's when you can charge them through the teeth. It was all on card.
Yeah, look, I don't
Realistically,
know. See, I don't even know how this even works with tennis cards. Like, what is the license you get? Like, do you go through the ATP and get the license through the ATP?
Well, if they have everyone, like there's no checklist yet. Just to answer a question from up above, Magda asked was it Magda asked about Djokovic orders? Yeah. But until we see the checklist, which I'm assuming there's going to be, if there's Djokovic autos and Nadal autos and stuff, players on the tour already, I'm hoping that there's Nick Kyrgios autos. Then, yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't get the license through the ATP.
Because you had, like, obviously before you had NetPro doing cards and they were still doing sets of cards. So I don't know if they're still doing. So NetPro was the first to release Alcaraz rookie cards, right? Yeah. But from what I understand, I think NetPro works more with the talent themselves. They go directly to the talent, in this case being Alcaraz, right? And then do a deal directly with him to release those cards. Now, they have done sets and that of and stuff like that before, but now I'm just wondering, like, we've seen Fanatics game with this sort of stuff, right? If Topps Chrome is obviously Topps is, and that brand is owned by Fanatics. We've seen the way Fanatics handles when they feel like they own that sort of person or property or whatever it is. We've seen what they've done with Tom Brady in that instances. I just wonder, how does this play out, right? With tennis cards, if they're now got tennis license through the ATP, does that mean you get situations where, like, tennis players couldn't go work with NetPro and sign their own deal sort of on the side? Like, I don't know how this, like, I don't know how this all plays out. Like, if Fanatics is going to protect their assets in that manner, the way that they've shown, and maybe they're just going to do it with select athletes like their Tom Brady's or their biggest names sort of thing, and they sort of won't care about the smaller fish, we could say. But if you're talking about someone like Novak Djokovic, you can't say that's a small fish. You can't say that Nadal's a small fish. Should they be able to get Nadal and stuff autos in their Topps Chrome product, right? So I don't know. I just find it interesting to see what they do. How does this play out with other athletes? as we've seen with Tom Brady? Like, do they do the same move? Do they do that same, dick move that they've done in the past with other stuff? I don't know. It's interesting, especially when they start to get more NBA products, more NBA stuff, and they get the full license of the NBA, Doma. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. That's my only concern with all of this stuff. That you see them getting the dominance into all these sports. Man, I don't want to. I'll be honest with you, like if I'm like a tennis collector and like I have some Net Pro cards, like I don't want to see. Yeah. I don't want to see, I'm not saying I'm an avid tennis collector, but I'd still, I still got a Roger Federer rookie, and I wouldn't mind adding a Nadal rookie, and maybe a Djokovic, even though it's not as easy to find at some point. Like, I don't want to see the Topps Chrome and Fanatics just now be the monopoly on tennis cards, because then you're going to miss the origins of some of the best eras of tennis players which were made in Net Pro. It'd still be good to have Net Pro out there and making sets and stuff like that, right? Even Upper Deck used to make tennis cards and stuff. So I think you don't want them to get a monopoly on every single sport, guys. You just don't. You just don't. You've seen sort of what they do or they've done already. I think it'd just be bad for the hobby, right? For them to have a monopoly on every sport.
Well, Topps Chrome is obviously their premier product. Well, the Chrome product is. So it just makes sense. Hello, Maddie. I don't think they'll end up buying AFL cards. So I hope not.
No, please don't.
We'll stay on topic because, Source, to be honest, I don't really give a shit who is in the checklist for this product. I only care about one thing in this product. All right? One thing only. Here it is. Topps Chrome Basketball. I don't know if you've all seen it at the moment. I know Source and I have seen it, but this is what we've all waited for. All right? Big product, Source. Big product. Great product. Their premier product. And we scroll down. Look, there's Russell Westbrook. Here we go. Clippers.
Unlicensed, obviously, ladies and gentlemen. They can obviously got the license for these players.
There you go. All unlicensed, correct. It's like spot the problem. All unlicensed. Everyone's like, what's the point? The best thing about this product, if you ask me, Source, the best thing is you go down here. Autos, I've already clicked on it, ready to go. No one cares about any of these guys. No one cares. LeBron James auto. LeBron James auto. Go here. Topps Chrome autos. Have a look at this. Refractors, gold, black, red, superfractors. Look at this. Look how many. Yep, they're all here. 189 hobby. Yep. Go down. LeBron James. Best part about this product.
Yeah, true.
MJ's Upper Deck exclusive, Magda.
Yeah, MJ's still Upper Deck.
Does anyone know why the LeBron is the reason why? It's also, you know the reason why. Does anyone know in the chat why? Anyone listening know why? It's pretty obvious. And it's a good thing for us. And a good thing for LeBron James collectors. Because realistically, the prices to get an auto will be affordable. We don't need to worry about rookies and all these Upper Deck cards that are worth squillions of dollars that are on Golden. We don't need to worry about it. Because now the market is going to be absolutely saturated with LeBron James autos. So you'll be able to go pick up one of these lower tier ones for a reasonable price. So you can go own a LeBron James.
Even if it is a sticker.
It's going to be a sticker. Who gives a shit? You can say you got an LBJ auto. That's it. That's the only positive out of this piece of shit product. That's what it is. It's non-licensed, and happy to put RCs on unlicensed Wemby autos and crap, and we'll have him turned away so then we don't have to see the San Antonio stuff. Like, but if you look right here, Source, like right in this section, there's no NBA logo on the top of the jersey because it's unlicensed. So this absolute piece of crap of a product actually has a benefit for the hobby. So don't be too upset at it, right? Because everyone wants LeBron autos. Everyone would love an LeBron auto in their collection. And this is the opportunity now for you to get a LeBron James auto.
First time signed for lower end product. I mean, I think he's signed from, that sort of stuff before. And I think it's just a matter of them, getting him to sign a shitload of stickers. Then they can put him in nearly every product. I mean, Fanatics should be abusing LeBron James's auto the way Panini did with Kobe Kobe was around.
Yep.
There should be that
stuff. Is at the top. And the rest, $200 autos, 150.
Yeah, man, you got to understand when Kobe was still here, he signed that deal with Panini, and he's supposed to be signing for the next 10 years. Kobe Bryant sticker autos were $100, $200,
man.
Yeah, I'm serious. Now you can't get a Kobe Bryant sticker auto for less than $1,000. Now, do I think that LeBron sticker autos should be $100, $200? Probably not. Do I think LeBron sticker autos should be around the $400 to $500 mark? Yeah. If the market gets saturated enough with them, they should be. They should definitely be. So, yeah, look, it's exciting. That's exciting, Tomo, because I want to own a LeBron auto, and I'll be honest with you, I don't really want to fork out $3,500 or $2,500. So it'd be nice if I could get a nice sticker auto at around $500. That'd be nice.
$500,000, Jesus.
Jeez, if I've gone up that level, then I wouldn't be worried. But
you're at $500. You're at the bloody Juanito Ken Golden relationship level. Shine.
What do you mean? I've bought next door to Kenny Golden on his golf course. Yeah, I'm his neighbor.
Jesus, you got a 9-figure bank account. Oh, that's a world first. Here we go. Oh, Dan just said to check his latest IG post, and this is actually very funny because it's in relation to the product. They've used the font from the Porn Stars show on the card and just changed the color from white to gold.
That's great. Well done.
Real original. Like I said, who cares? Biggest piece of crap of a product. But it's the start of just starting to flood the market with LeBron autos. That's the best thing about it. I hope they pump out his autos. I want one, says Dan. I think a lot of people do. Have you seen, shout out Tyson Beck drop next week? Yes, shout out to Tyson Beck. We nailed one of the two athletes. We said Lawrence Taylor was going to be one of the two that he hadn't revealed. He nailed that. And then I think he caught us all off guard with the Megatron. So definitely check that out. It's Barry Sanders, Lawrence Taylor,
Dan Marino,
Megatron, and I've gone blank.
Hang on. Someone will let us know.
Someone will let us know. It's a stock font, 10x the hobby. I love it, man. I love it.
Emmett Smith.
There you go. There you go. That's that one. Chrome basketball, Chrome tennis. And when you got nothing else to create source in the hobby because you're Panini and you got no more license and you're absolutely finished, what could you possibly do except branch out to Monopoly and do Monopoly cards? And when you run out of ideas there because you're losing basketball and you can't do Monopoly cards, you just go outsource. And you just Prism trademark everything. And we're getting Prism Rolling Stones, baby. Here we go. Mick Jagger.
Is it autos?
Who knows? The set starts with 100 base cards. These delve into the band, typical for all the Prism. There are a lot of parallels. Of course, there is. Total 15 levels of colors, jeepers, patterns, and rarities available. Color Blast is in there. While the rarest and most valuable Prism chase sets makes the jump over the cast members of the band in front of the color burst version of the tongue and lips logo. A handful of die-cut designs. The Hot Lips cast the band in front of their logo. International Licks combines that logo with different flags from around the world, representing many of their tour stops' international appeal. And Stub keeps with the touring theme. This is time, adding a ticket look to the mix. Other Panini Prism Rolling Stones inserts include behind the scenes, poster perfection, singles, and the original stadium show. The initial announcement for the set makes no mention of possible autos or memorabilia cards. So you might need to just hold off, baby, for that one. It will be cool if they get autos. It would be sweet if they started doing Prism pop culture cards. We've got Pop Century. Waiting for influencers to now pump Rolling Stones cards, grasping at straws, some would say.
Well, doesn't this just go to show, like, where's Panini going after they lose all their licenses? I mean, what are they? I mean, we know they've still got a big following with their sticker business, and that's obviously where they started in stickers. But surely they wouldn't want to keep some sort of momentum with their cards that they've built up over the last 10 years. And geez, grasping at straws. Yeah, I would say, Matty, you're probably on the point with this one. I don't see who would buy this, Doma. I mean, how many different images can you care to have of the Rolling Stones members? I mean, who cares? It's not like it'd be different if this had like patch cards where it had an image and a patch from an outfit that, you know, Mick Jagger wore at his concert in 19, and it had descriptive of it. This was from this concert, you know, and there's an image of him singing it. Don't get me wrong, that'd be off its tit. Like, for any, you know, fan of Rolling Stones, it'd be a cool piece to have. I mean, that would make it an amazing set. But just printing out some shiny parallels that literally cost 10 cents to make for the whole box, right? Whatever it is, and then just trying to flog it off like it's something to actually collect. It's nothing, mate. It's crap.
The one thing they're shown here looks like it's a good blend of Prism and something different. Fair enough. Just Prism everything. Let's get to here. Might as well have a look at it. As Magda mentioned, select Brownlow Medalist Series was announced and released. It's to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Brownlow Medal. The Select presents the Brownlow Medalist Series since 2016. Anyway, there's a bit of info here. As you can see, some Brownlow medalists. Croft in there. Hurdy, Swanee, Bobby Skilton, Gaza. I like this Gaza one here. He's got his Geelong and Gold Coast tops on. Plugger. All SIGs are directly on each Brownlow medalist signature booklet card. 150 individually numbered booklets for each of the 49 Brownlow medalists. So each is numbered to 150, which is pretty cool. One random Brownlow medalist signature booklet card per box. Each card is encased in a card armor booklet card safe. And there's 7,350 boxes produced. I've seen someone open one and they hit a Michael Voss Brownlow card. Very nice looking card, to be honest. The one thing with booklets, they work in the AFL market here in Australia. People like booklets here in Australia. If this was a product over in the States, booklets are not really very popular in like NBA. But here's some of the players. Matty Pritter, Sam Mitchell, Trent Cotchin, Dane Swan, Gary Ablett Jr., Adam Cooney, Bartel, Cousins, Judd, Buckley, Rashudo, Black, Acker, Woden, Crawford, Harvey, Hurd, Voss, Kelly, Wanganeen, Libba, Jared Healy, Platten, Lockett, Greg Williams, Diesel Williams, that's a ripper one to get there. Dipper, Brad Hardy, Glendinning, played for North, Jet, Wilson, Quinlan, Templeton, Moore, Blight, Teasdale, Moss, Dempsey, Greg, Peter Bedford, Murray, Smith, Stuart Teasdale, Collis, Lord, Schultz, Howe, Skilton, Roberts, Gleason. There you go. Have a look at that. Mint set. Very nice. So, and then there's obviously the prospect cards as well. I think they're valid for 3 years. Is that correct? So the predictor booklet is valid for this year, next year, and 2026. And it's potential, if you get this, that they're going to win a Brownlow. If they do, they redeem it, and you get the booklet version of whoever is going to win it. Let's go through some of these players. Jordan Dawson, no chance. Will Ashcroft, slight chance. Sam Walsh, maybe. Dacos, the highest chance. Zach Merritt, maybe. Could win one this year, potentially. Sarong, potentially. Max Home, waste. Tom Green, maybe. Noah Anderson, maybe. Newcomb, no. Petraka, yes. LDU, not unless North is making finals in 3 years. Butters, potentially. Taranto, no, because Richmond absolutely putrid. Sinclair, no chance, because it's a Saints player and they got no chance of winning one. Goulden, maybe. You came close. Cully, no. Bontempelli, yes. So potentially off those redemptions, there's some good ones, and to be honest, I would not want to hit a predictor. I want to hit one of these bad boys, to be honest.
Yeah. Look, it doesn't. I have seen that, some of the prices on them selling aren't as good as what the boxes cost. I think they were $295 out the gate off the Select website, a box. Look, I'll be honest with you, I forgot to buy a box, or else I would have probably bought one and opened it up on the show, but I missed out, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not paying the overs to get one, to open it up, to potentially hit that. If you hit one of the not so liked or collected teams, or you hit like a player, one of those early on, one of the guys from the 1960s or 70s or stuff like that, they're not really going for the most amount of coins. So you're not even, some of them, I've seen some of them going for only $250. So you're sort of losing a little bit on your box. So look, still a good product, but I'm waiting for the next release. I'm waiting for, which release I always like to go after, Doma, and that's the one with the most recent rookies in the product. I think last year it was called Optimum. I did all right, opened the box of that and hit the remember I hit the redemption. Captain Sig redemption, so that was good. So I'll be looking to get a box of that when that releases later in the year. Which later in the year, I mean, I don't know how much longer it can be. Surely they must be doing another release before the end of the year. Has to be 100%. Within the next 2 months for sure.
Magda says $225 for Select members, $295 retail, but you can buy some of the booklets for $180.
Yeah, there you go.
So, all right, last but not least, but one of the greatest things to happen in this hobby in the last week, there's a new hobby watchdog, self-proclaimed hobby watchdog. I don't know if anyone's seen this, but I did see this. It got brought to my attention by Cage first, and then obviously Dan has since done a video on this source, but he's back.
Who's
all right? The Messiah may have dropped beer on his case at the National, but he's back. He's back. If you don't know who we're talking about and you haven't seen episode, I think it was 3 of the round table, it is Shillway Vlogs is back. Mr. Shill himself.
He reactivated his Instagram, did he?
He's back, mate. He's the new hobby watchdog. And he said, it doesn't matter what people say about me anymore. You can talk crap on me because I'm back, and this time I'm monetized. So we're going to go watch this dud's content so you can make him money. So you're going to go watch his stuff and pay for his stuff. And this all, in the end of the day, all this guy did was just, I don't know, rot people.
And look, and the thing is with it, like, people, like, don't forget, right? Like, he only got caught on that occasion, right? Who knows how long or how many times in the past he's done that, right? Shield his own auctions, who knows? The guy could have freaking 50 eBay accounts. It's so easy to make an eBay account and start bidding. Like, it's ridiculously easy.
This guy, right? Happiness is only real win shared. More like shilling is only real win shared. This idiot.
That's what you shared across your 50 eBay account.
Yeah, behind the shilling podcast out on all streaming platforms.
Yeah, it's a bizarre thing in this hobby, isn't it, Brett? It's a bizarre thing. All is forgotten, right?
Shill me once, shame on you. Shill me twice, shame on me.
Yeah, exactly, right? Just once a cheater, always a cheater.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
not,
guy,
not
man.
wrong, not wrong with all of those things. It's just like we just don't get it, and it's just like it's baffling in this hobby. I mean, how many people? I mean, think about some of the biggest people in the hobby. I mean, Mr. fucking 9-figure bank account, live on a golf course, Golden himself, man. Like, you know what I mean? I think let's not forget. I mean, if you go have a look back in the day, what Mr. Old Uncle Kenny did with autographs. If you do a bit of Google search, you can find about it. I mean, what's his name? Sports Card Radio's done a whole expose on him. There's a massive YouTube video on him. Just go watch that, and you'll find out about him. Like, it's just bizarre, man. In this hobby, right? All is forgotten. This is why we're saying, Juanito, just come back, bro.
Let us interview you, bro.
Fuck, man. No one
Let
will
us
care.
interview.
Everything's been forgotten.
Come on the show.
Juanito, if you're listening to this,
just come on the show.
Juan, we're talking to you, bro. Come on the show, man.
Come on the show.
Everything is forgotten. Don't worry.
Forgotten, bro.
Just put a palm trees green screen in the background.
All the beef in the past. Don't worry about the double coverage car porn beef. It's squashed, man. It's squashed. I actually don't care. Straight out, the honest truth. I know what he did was wrong, and yet I'll straight out say to him what he did was wrong. But in all honesty, why do we actually have to care about it? Everyone else in America is still doing it to us, and like this lemon's back, and he's monetized for doing the wrong thing. Fuck Sauce. We should have been scamming everyone for 3 years. Get monetized to scam people. Not only make money off, not only make good money off of great people in the hobby, these really nice people, by scamming them, we'll get monetized for doing it. Fuck. We could have saved the BBC rap, which we created double coverage dingers.
Glow in the dark, so you never lose your box.
Yeah, the tagline is "You'll never know when you'll need protection." That's what. Oh man, mate, I'll ask him the hard-hitting question. The other question I want to know is, what country are you sipping a pina colada in at the moment? That's all I care about, mate. The perfect hobby bro steals cards from his breaks, uses Kurtz on the card before grading, then shills his auctions.
Mate, Brett, that statement there, use Kurtz on cards before grading. That statement is, not just for Shilway. You don't understand the amount, the gravity, the widespread. All of them are doing it. You don't think like Pool Wax and all of these big mobs like that are not great at using something of that nature. And it might not be Kurt's card care, right? It might not be that specifically. But I'm telling you, from the moment I entered this hobby over 5 years ago, right, I seen people on an IG Live getting a waxing type product from an auto shop, right? And they were putting it, and I'm like, what are you putting on the card? He's like, oh, it's this wax stuff. It's meant for your card. It's supposed to get out surface scratches. And he was doing it and like buffering it, and it was working. And he was like showing me, look, there's the scratch is gone. The scratch is gone. So like,
Shilway Le Mans.
So many people do it. It's rampant. It's rampant.
Magda said, give someone a lemon. Yeah, Maguire's, mate. Maguire's, you can go buy turtle wax. Mate, just go head down to Repco and you're sorted in the hobby. Who are we kidding?
What do you think Kurt's doing? He's just fucking buying the shit from the
auto store. Spending how much is it? $50 USD?
Putting it in a little tin container, selling it to people for $15.
How much did you say? Is it 15 USD?
Oh, I don't know. The
50 for the pack.
USD. Hey, USD. Market research was me. I bought the kit like a lemon, right? For all you guys out there, so that you can see
not a
what
lemon.
the shit
What are you
is.
talking about, mate? You can actually use it and then just go get 10s, so you make your money back.
I've never put it on. Well, that's a lie. I have put it on a card, but I've never put it on a card and sent it to grading, have I? I've put it on a card just to see what it actually does.
I told you. If you can fix this, Nick Claxton, rookie, best player in the league. Look at the scratches that I put on this. Because I signed it, remember, on this show myself. I signed it. Nick Claxton's auto right there on card. Because, as I said when I signed this card in the segment, Panini can't get any autos, but I'll just sign it myself. Like Mikal Bridges or Michael, whoever it was, signed for LaMelo Ball. You fix this card, Source, we'll send it in. Right, you should see how bad it is on the back because I use it as a coaster. So I use it as a coaster.
His coffee cup goes on there.
Bro, we actually
don't laugh. I've got 3 PSA graded coasters. Bro, I go. That's one of my things, Dom, and you know this. I go to hobby shows and I look for graded PSA cards, $10 and less, that I can turn into a coaster. And I will honestly go to the guy and say, mate, I'll give you $5 for this. And I'll try and get it for $5 because he knows I'm pulling it out and no other idiot in the whole show is going to even offer him anything for this. And it's $10 for a reason.
I'm still waiting for Rod to sell me the Mason Greenwood Color Blast, mate. That's priced for 5 Gs or 2.5 Gs at every hobby hangout. I'll say it on this podcast, and I'll say exactly what I say to him all the time.
He might have sold it by now.
But mate, no one's buying them for 5 Gs. As I kept saying to him every time, I'll give you $5, sell it to me, because you're probably that's probably overs of what it's gonna be worth. Just sell it to me for $5.
He got a move, didn't he? Mason Greenwood.
Yeah, Getafe? Is he a Getafe, I think. Just sell it to me. He's rubbish. Shonky Hobby Bros ran a train of deceit from the second they pull the card until they sell it. A beautiful, unregulated hobby. San Pellegrino Limonata circles on the back.
All right. So how much do you actually reckon it's actually selling for at the moment?
The
Color Blast. Which one was it? The white one or the black one?
The white one.
Anyway, the last sold on the black one was $95 USD, so it's pretty low.
Yeah.
It's pretty
low. The white one? What's the white one?
It's not loading. The price.
If it's the black one, Rod, and if you're listening, I'll give you 10% of what it's worth. I'll pay you $9.50. The card, mate, let's be honest. Just cut your losses. Not worth more than $20. He's not loved in the hobby. He's a fucking. It says
250, but I don't believe that price.
He beats up women. No one wants to collect this idiot, mate. Like, no one. Just sell it to me for $9.50. I want to put it down. So every time I slam my coffee cup onto his Color Blast, it's as if I'm beating up on Mason Greenwood, mate. So just sell me the freaking card. It's
like
worthless.
A voodoo doll.
It's worthless. I'm being serious. It is he's a piece of shit as a human, first of all, and the card's a piece of shit. So you might as well let me treat it like a piece of shit and let me put my coffee on it every morning. It's pretty straightforward. Nick Claxton's copper beating. Look at the back of this card, Source. I don't know if you can't see it.
He's got
app. Look at this.
Yeah, I can see that.
Look at that. If you can fix that with Kurt's juices, all my days. Mate, it's the same thing. Matty, you're on the money. I'll trade him for an Aaron Hernandez rookie card. Exactly the same thing. They're worthless. These guys are duds. They're no good. Just sell me. Anyway, the point of it is Sauce is going to, when I go visit him, and I makes me a coffee or he gives me a beer when I go over, he goes, here, take a coaster. And then we just get to laugh because it's just some of them on. And you reminisce about these guys in the slabs that Saucy has as his coasters in a time in the hobby when these cards are worth a mint. And everyone's like, this is the guy you need to collect. And that's the other reason why Saucy's doing this PC of coasters to prove that they were going to be worthless in the first place.
Yes, exactly.
And it did full circle. Anyway, Shilway's back. All right. He's
How have we
monetized. He
gone
keeps
from talking
telling
about
us.
this and we've ended up here.
It's Shilway. Anyway, as Saucy said, one last time, seriously, Juanito, I don't know how to contact you because you're falling off the face of the planet. But if you can somehow get in contact with us, we would love to interview.
All this
Give us give the Australians, us, Dan the Card Man, I don't care who it is, but give the Australians a satisfaction to interview you. Don't go to these Darren Ravel duds, man. Because I tell you what, I could send Darren Ravel 100 emails and tell him that I know him and that you're here and there and anywhere, and he'll believe it. So,
Wild Goose Chase.
Wild Goose Chase. That's right. Catch me if you can. Where is it? This is what we're ending on. Where is the great man? With all the ladies. Here he is. Keep living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce. It's double coverage. And peace out.
Like and subscribe and catch me if you can. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.